Hello YouTube, today I'm going to talk about one of the most difficult topics that I'm going to talk about on these videos. It's going to be about bullying and suicide prevention. Hopefully the story I'm going to tell you will hopefully inspire you to, if you're struggling with bullying, to see that it does get better. I know some people think it never will and it's going to be hell forever, but trust me, you know, when you change your mind to the way you react to things, you can enjoy life again. I'm living proof. So if you like this story, please share it with people you think might benefit from this, and you might just save a life. So basically my bullying history started as soon as I started school, from 5 years old, right through the entire school education, including university, and on into the rest of my life as well. But how you react to it is the key. So I started school, I was a little bit overweight, not a lot overweight, but had a little bit of a puppy belly. People started to take the piss out of me because I was fat. They made my life hell, and because of that I got depressed and turned to food as my source of comfort. So I would be, you know, I'd seek comfort in sugar. I'd drink Coca-Cola and eat chocolate all the time because it made me feel good. I mean, it releases chemicals in your brain which make you feel good, but obviously that made me fat. And the more depressed I got, the more I ate, the fatter I got, the more I got bullied, the more I got depressed, the fatter I got, the more I got bullied, and then the vicious cycle got worse and worse and worse. Not only was I overweight, but I also wore glasses, so I got all the stupid 4-eye comments. I mean, wow, that's intellectual. Though you must have taken all the brain power to work out that, you know. You know, things were pretty hell for me at school. I didn't want to go to school. I missed a lot of school. I pretended to be ill all the time. I would, you know, even when I was at school, I would try to get out of school in any way I could. You know, at lunchtime, I would leave school, even though it wasn't allowed. I would go down to the high street and go to McDonald's, which is even worse because then I got even fatter. You know, it gets to the point where, you know, you don't think there's anything else you can do to stop it. I reported it to teachers, I told my parents, I told everybody, please help me, but no one helped me. The teachers even joined in occasionally, you know, for a bit of fun. You know, one particular teacher said, it's like some of the people in this class need to watch what they eat. Coming from a 20-stone teacher, so she can talk. Yeah, it doesn't matter how many times I asked for help, nobody helped me, so I felt completely helpless. I didn't see any way out. There was no way I could realize that, you know, there is a way to get out of this hell that I was in, other than killing myself. I thought, you know, well, no one's wanting to help me. Everyone says that this is the best time of my life, and that, you know, I've got to make the most of being a kid. And I was like, well, if this is as good as it gets, then no way. I've had enough. I'm just going to kill myself. And I spent years trying to work out the most pain-free way to die. And because I was quite good at science and biology, I pretty much solved the problem, but the only problem I couldn't solve was how to stop the pain for everybody else I was going to leave behind. My mum, my sister, my dad, my nan, the rest of my family, the few friends I had. You know, I mean, how could I remove the pain from them? I couldn't. So I decided there must be a better way. And I changed the way that my mind reacted to what they were saying. Instead of when I got the insults, taking the pain and anger and turning it into depression and eating food to get over it, I turned it into determination. I said, I'm not going to be like this anymore. I'm gonna lose the weight. I'm gonna be fit and healthy. I'm gonna change myself. So I lost 5 stone in 6 months. And another video in the future will be about the weight loss story, for anyone else who wants to have some help. But even then, I lost the weight. I would look like everybody else. There was, I wasn't fat anymore. I went from a 40-inch waist to a 30-inch waist, so I was just like any other kid. But the bullies were so ignorant, they didn't stop. I was still a fat kid. They all got all the fat comments all the time. And that's the point where you realize that these people are so ignorant, they're stupid, they don't know what they're doing. They're never going to stop. These people bully you because of a psychological problem in their own head. One of my theories is that these people have such horrible lives themselves that in order to make themselves feel better about their own life, they have to make somebody else's life more miserable than theirs. So if they can find someone who they see as weak to pick on and make them feel miserable and suicidal, it makes them feel good. They kind of feed on the energy that they create, the negative energy. They're like energy vampires. They suck the lifeblood out of the people that they feel are vulnerable. If you stand up to them and fight them, then sometimes it can help. I've tried to defend myself sometimes, but I got in more trouble than the bullies. The teachers punished me instead of punishing them because I was the one in the fight. I mean, hang on a minute, they started it, but the teachers didn't care. So my advice is don't fight violence with violence. You can be absolutely terrified. I didn't want to go to school. I was frightened to walk to school. I was frightened on the way home. I even carried weapons to school so that if they started on me, I could defend myself. But carry a weapon, what if there's 10 of them? What if they grab that weapon off you and use it against you? You've then armed them, and violence doesn't fight violence. It's never going to work that way. You need to find a better way, and that's really down to your mind, how you can deal with it. I can't tell you how to solve how you react, but the more you learn to ignore these people, they're complete idiots. Don't let them get you down. Everyone is special. Everyone has something to offer the world. Everyone is beautiful. Everyone has a purpose in life that we need to find. Don't let someone take that from you. Whoever they are, I don't care who they are, don't let them take that from you. Everyone deserves to live in peace. Unfortunately, a lot of the abuse comes from religious people, which is disgusting. How you can claim to be religious and love God and then hate people. What's wrong with you? Get a grip. So when it's built into culture, it doesn't matter how much you try and stop it. I don't think it will ever end. When I went to university, I'm in the top university in the country for science, right? and the top medical school in the country. You don't expect people there to be so ignorant. But then I'm getting homophobic abuse. I mean, when I was at school, the last thing I wanted to do was come out and tell them I was gay and have another thing for them to bully me for. So I didn't come out in secondary school. I waited till I was doing my A-levels and university. But even at university, I'd get people go, Batty man, yeah, Batty man. I'm like, grow up, come on. You're supposed to be there. These were medical students. Every single time they saw me, they shouted homophobic slurs at me, and just because their religion says it's bad, your religion is your religion, it's your business, not mine. You go worship whoever you want, but don't interfere with my life. I'm not interfering with your life, so fuck off. Sorry for my language, but anyone who uses their faith to spread hate, whether you're Christian, Muslim, or whatever, I don't care. You spread hate, then you're just as bad as a bully. But it's worse because you're an adult and you've got the choice not to do it, but you still do it anyway. So what is the solution? I mean, we can always say, let's stop bullying, but I just don't really think it's going to stop. But we need to. If you see someone that's being bullied, stand up for them. Don't just stand by and watch and join in even. Just say, hang on a minute, no, stop that. Don't do that. Why are you taking the piss out of this guy? Why are you beating him up? The fact that people just stand by and watch, it just means that you're just as bad as the bullies themselves. If you don't try to defend someone that's in trouble, then you're just as useless and pathetic as the bully. So if you see someone that's struggling, make friends with them. Talk to them. See that there's more to them than their appearance. There's more to them than being the fat guy. They have emotions. They have interests. They like to I don't know, whatever. I mean, just become friends with these people, and don't be scared of then. Bullies will bully me if I become friends with the victim. Well, so what? the more people stand up to the bullies, the less chance that they've got of being, the popular one that everyone wants to be around, because they're an arsehole. Why would you want to be around an arsehole? So, when you get to the point where, you lose faith in humanity, it kind of changes your own personality. I now feel like I'm, in a way, superior to these people. I know everyone's the same, but in a way it makes you don't feel like that anymore. You feel like you're so much better than everybody else because you're the one who, for example, when I was at school, I was running my own businesses. I was on TV. I was famous. I was the cleverest kid in school. So they didn't like it. They wanted to try and bring me down a few steps. But if they did try to do that, climb a few steps higher. Who cares if what people think of you, unless they're physically attacking you, in which case go to the police. If they're physically abusing you, then it's got to be stopped. If they're just calling you names because they're jealous of you, then just ignore them. Really, I know it's hard. I know how painful it is. I've been there 100 million times when people shouting stuff at me. Even in the street, people would shout things at me. And I'm now going to get a paraglider crash. That looks fun. Maybe I should have a go at paragliding. But let's wait for the noise to go. Where was I? I'm completely lost now. You want to, every time they try and bring you down, fight harder to be who you want to be. I'm going to do videos in the future about how to discover yourself, how to discover your dreams, and live the life that you're meant to live, not the life that people expect you to have. There's two different things in life. You can either go with the flow, be like everybody else, live a boring life, or live a special life, live a life of creativity, live a life of wonder and magic. Every day is amazing. It's your choice. You can choose a better life for yourself. So the less you listen to all the idiots that tell you can't do that, the better. I even had people at university, like the lecturers at university, I would tell them some of my business ideas, and they told me, no one will ever take you seriously, whatever. But not supportive in one slightest little bit. I mean, I'm sorry, but hang on, this is a university. This is supposed to be a centre of knowledge. You're supposed to help people to become whoever they want to be. But all they wanted me to do was sit there and repeat other things other people have done. I'm like, how boring is that? So, in any educational environment, you're probably going to find it difficult to find good support. I did. I had a few special teachers that were amazing, that helped me, but most of the teachers didn't give a crap about me. They'd see me being beaten up in the classroom and wouldn't even stop it. Teachers have got a lot to answer for. Even the headmaster of my secondary school when I did my A-levels, I was wearing an apron because, it's a charity I like to support. And I was told, no, you can't wear that. I said, why? It's not a charity supported by this school. And I was like, hang on a minute. But, people, and then I was told you're not allowed to wear badges. But other kids, they were wearing Bernardo's badges or NSPCC dots and various other charity badges. And I was like, well, hang on a minute. They were wearing their badges. Why can't I wear mine? And there was it's not a charity supported by this school. We're a Christian school. And at that point, I lost all respect for the school completely. If that's what the headmaster believes, then forget them. They're useless. And this was the top school in the country. And it's run by an arsehole. So, education systems in this country and probably in most of America and a lot of the world, they're not there to teach people about life. They're there to make you repeat rubbish that you don't need to know about. And if you get attacked and bullied, they don't care because it's not their problem. You're the one getting attacked. So what? So the final message really is to turn any fear and depression into positive creation. It's difficult to do, I know, but the more you can learn to do it, take it slowly, take it one step at a time. Someone shouts at you, fatso or whatever stupid insult they want to, just ignore them. And if you are unhappy being fat, then you can change that. That's something you can do, easy. I mean, not right, okay, that's not easy, but if it's something that bothers you personally and you're not happy with yourself, then if it is something you can change, then change it. If it's not something you can change, then you have to change the way you react to the people. Just ignore them. Don't let them get to you. Certainly, if you're feeling suicidal, talk to someone. Don't feel completely trapped so that you're the only one. Thousands of people go through this every day. I'm gonna do my next video is going to be about coming out and all of the mental trauma that goes with it. Eventually, once you get through it, it makes life easier. But going through it is difficult. But part of life is experiencing pain, experiencing challenges that you have to solve. If you kill yourself, you failed in the challenge. You haven't dealt with the lesson that's needed to be learned from that experience. I fully believe in reincarnation, and there's going to be videos about that later on. I personally believe if you're faced with a challenge in life and you can't cope with it and you can't find a way out and kill yourself, you failed the mission, and therefore you have to do it again. You're going to come back into a similar life with a similar issue until you learn how to cope with that in your mind. And once you've coped with it in your mind, it takes you completely to another level of spirituality in a way. In one lifetime is not enough to experience everything there is to experience on this planet. So I believe that you come back many times, and sometimes you come back for a few days, your baby that dies straight away, or sometimes you come back and live a life of magic and wonder. Sometimes you can't just have everything good all the time. You never appreciate it. So sometimes you experience bad things. And those bad things are what shapes you. That's what makes you who you are. And, it may hurt really bad at the time. Really bad. But just think how good it's going to feel once you deal with it. Once you've come through, maybe you're running down the road and all of a sudden you're in a thorny bush. You can't work out how to get out of it. What do? You stay in the thorny bush and die? Or do you fight your way out into the fresh air, and eventually the wounds heal. Eventually it takes time, but you'll get better. And the more of these experiences you have, the stronger you become, the more human you become, and the happier you will be able to be in life. I'm going to do other videos about depression, topic I've had a lot to deal with in my life. I'm going to do other videos about coming out and weight loss. It's a lot of things that I've been through are very difficult things, but now that I've coped with them, I feel amazing. So maybe this video is about bullying, but so if you're in a situation where you're being bullied, and just seek help. There's so many places now where you can talk to people, you can get advice, you can, there's so many websites now. There was no internet when I was a kid. I had nowhere to go. I could go to the teachers or my parents, and that was it. Now there's support groups, there's websites, there's people you can phone for support. There's endless ways to help you now. So if you're in this situation, just don't give up. Keep going, and one day you will be stronger than any of the bullies. You can have a magical life. My life is full of wonder every day because I choose to let it be that way, not because I'm lucky, not because I won it in the lottery. People say, "Oh, you're so lucky to live the life you live." No, I chose the life I live. This is my life because it's my life. And the more you realize that you're in control, the better. We create our own universe in order to teach ourselves things about the world. So more videos on that later as well. So for now, it's a long video, so I'm going to go. But next video, I'm going to talk about my coming out story. Growing up as a kid with no internet or anything like that, there were no gay people on TV. There was nothing in school. So I want to tell you my story about how I went from being, frightened teenager to international porn star. Yeah. So I hope you found this video helpful. And if you want to see my next video, subscribe, and I'll let you know when it's here. And yeah, if you're struggling with bullying, please get some help. And know you're not alone. You feel like it, but you can survive. You can be a stronger person. Thank you. Bye for now.